Hi guys, Chris and PJ here live in the Dream Giveaway Garage.
Hello, Christopher.
Hello, your thumb is looking especially happy today. Why is that, PJ?
Because it's Thursday.
Not only is it Thursday, but it's 4/27. You know what that means, PJ?
You've got a car behind you with 427 on it?
That's correct. So in the same way that yesterday was National Hemi Day, 4/26, April 26th, today is April 27th, 4/27. And that's not a calendar that you're looking at right there on the front fender.
Although it looks it, yeah.
It looks like a calendar. It is the cubic inch displacement, as we were talking about before we went live, on this 1970 Ford Custom 100 that you can win in our classic truck dream giveaway.
Chris, why did all cars go away with putting the displacement on the side of their badging of their cars?
Well, PJ, you're getting me started on this. I don't think they should have ever taken away the cubic inch displacement on the front fenders of cars. But here's what happened. Towards the end of the 70s and into the 80s, it became less popular to do so. And into the 90s, I don't recall it making it into the 90s
Well,
at
what
all.
would you put down for an electric car? A big zero?
Well, no. Well, maybe you could put horsepower, all right?
Yeah.
But you certainly don't have cubic inch displacement. But back in the 60s, I mean, you'd pull up to a stoplight, you'd put your head out the window, you'd see that next to you, and you'd see what you were up against, right? And if you saw 427, you're like, uh-oh, that's not a 3022 barrel, is it? I better be careful. And maybe, you know, you honk the horn, you said, pull over, let me see what you got. And the guy would come on out with his classic truck, and he'd open the hood. By the way, I took the top plate off here so you guys could see the dual quads. And then you'd look in there and you'd go, man, it didn't come from the factory with that, did it? You'd go, no, man, that's a 427. That's a FE 427 from the Thunderbolt era. That's a 62 block, that's 64 heads, and that's a dual quad induction system right there.
In a 70 truck.
In a 70 truck. Remember, they weren't putting performance motors in trucks in 1970. Why? Because they were trucks. Trucks had a purpose, a utilitarian purpose. But, oh, you know, just like people would hot rod almost anything else, hot rod a truck. And I'm not going to fire this one up today, but I promise that I will before the giveaway ends.
It is loud. This truck is loud.
It's loud and it shakes back and forth. Almost needs a shaker hood. It shakes so much. But this is such a nice engine here. The story on this is that the gentleman who built this started collecting the parts for this build back in the 1980s. And back then you could look in a magazine and you might be able to find a 62 427 FE Thunderbolt era block. And so he bought it and he put it aside, and then maybe the next month or whenever he'd buy the heads, and then he bought the intake. Before you knew it, he got a whole long block assembled. And then he got the truck, and then he put the whole truck together. So this is a neat truck that spans decades of someone's goal and dream to build a hot rod truck. And that's really what this classic Ford F100 from 1970 is. And we celebrate it today on April 27th, 4/27 day. Cool stuff looking in there. You see those dual quads. You can see it's got power assist. And that's a new double reservoir master cylinder, I was going to say, as well as a cooling line. You can see it right here.
Big V8.
Yeah, big V8. Power cooling line right there on the power steering pump, or cooling line, I should say.
But Chris, this isn't the only 427 in the garage.
No, we were talking about this too, PJ. But before we get to that, let's see how everybody's doing today.
Let's see here. Paul says happy 427 day.
Happy 427 day.
Robert as well.
Right.
Ian as well. Let's see here. Winston says gorgeous truck. Robert
Yes.
says love that truck.
Yeah.
Jesus wants to know where the black wing is.
Black wing's over there. You can, PJ, I don't care if you show it.
Okay, all right. I'll quickly show the
You
black
can
wing
show
over
it.
there.
Okay, black wing's over there. You guys just got a sneak peek of something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Kathy says loud and proud, and we were talking how loud
Oh,
this
it
thing is.
absolutely is loud and proud. Before we talk more about 427 Day, we had a special call today, and that was to the winner of the BMW M4. We did not get him to pick up the phone, so we're going to keep trying. And although his name is on the website, you can look and see it. We will try to reach him tomorrow, and we'll make that a live call for you guys around 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon in the Dream Giveaway Garage. Does that work for you, PJ?
Absolutely.
Cool.
So
Works for
JT
me
says,
as well.
so I didn't get the call on the BMW. We
No.
called millions of times, left millions of messages.
Winner's name, we know what state he's from, right? The great state of
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Second winner from Oklahoma. Camaro winner was also from Oklahoma. Was that what it was?
I don't
Think
so.
so.
Maybe.
Anyway, second winner from Oklahoma, and he's okay with that.
Terry O'Shea says happy 427
Happy
day.
427 Day. Let's walk on over to the Nova.
Because, well, before we do that, I just want to take a look at the
Yeah.
differences in the engines. Chris just
Well,
pointed it out
let's
to me.
do that. So that Ford FE block included engines like the 390, the 427, the 428, and I believe even the 429, right? Maybe that went in a Thunderbird or something in the early 70s.
So this is a 1970, and this is a 427
19.
built by Ford.
Well, no, the engine is a 62 and 64
Oh, right.
era. And we call that the Thunderbolt era because if you guys remember, Ford took the Fairlane and they made it lightweight, and you couldn't get a 427 in the Fairlane. It was mid-size, but you could get it in one of those NASCAR spec Galaxy 500s, right? An R code or a Q code Galaxy 562. And so Ford made, according to official estimates, 100 of these. 50
It's a
of
beautiful
them were
truck.
automatics, 50 of them were four
Is
speeds.
this automatic or
Oh, that's
four
an
speed?
automatic, correct. That's got a C6 transmission on it. By the way, thank you again for entering the Monte Carlo Dream Giveaway. So that is a vintage 427. I looked at those date codes. Had Milo Coleman, factory Ford racer, who bought a Thunderbolt for $1 because he worked at Ford. And I had him look at the engine with me. He confirmed that it was a 62 to 64 long block in there. And now, this 427, let's look at that calendar on the side of the fender again.
much different here?
That's not a calendar. That's, once again, a cubic inch displacement. Happy 427 Day for you guys on the Chevy side. 427 here.
So we're looking at this entire big Nova right
Yeah,
now.
now this 427 is entirely different. This is a modern 427, and you're going to say, well, wait a minute, Chris. Chevy hasn't put 427s in cars since 1969, right? However, GM Performance recreated the famous Z01 427 that became oh so famous in drag strips across America in the late 1960s.
Much different here.
Much different. So this is a modern 427 that can run on 93 pump gas, and this is pumping out 480 horsepower. Today you can go to a GM Parts Performance dealer, and if we had one as a great partner, I'd shout out a name to you, but we don't have one as a partner, so you can look at gmperformance.com. You could order one, and a crate with one of these will come right to your door.
That's a big
And that's
block.
what happened to Granny's Nova right here, this low mileage Nova from 1970. They hot rodded it with a GM Performance. It's called a ZZ 427 480, right?
Chris, which one's louder? The truck or the Nova?
Nova. Nova's louder. But I'll tell you what, that's quite a, maybe next week. We don't have time today. But maybe next week I'll get you to pull out your decibel meter.
Yeah, we'll do
PJ,
that.
And we'll do a little test between what's louder, the F100 427 or the 70 Nova 427. Here's what else is different. F100, of course, column shift 3-speed C6. This one, 4 on the floor, Muncie M22, specially built for performance. This
Take a
is
look
a
at that
car
white
that you would have
shifter
a whole
knob.
lot of fun on that dragster.
Look at that white shifter knob, Chris.
Oh, well, that's the best part of the car. Why don't we have a National White Shifter Knob Day,
I don't
PJ?
know. But Kathy would like to know if you could touch base on all of the upgrades that make up the restoration. This kind of question does come up quite a bit.
On which car?
Not sure.
Which car, Kathy? I'll start with the Nova.
Yeah.
So this started as Grandma's sweet little Nova.
Don't say she only drove it to church on Sunday.
No, she only drove it to Taco Bell on Sundays. And look, I mean, the bench seat, near perfect, and that steering wheel. That's how I knew it was a super low mile car. I looked at that steering wheel and the horn button and the dash, and everything was still really, really pristine. Then I looked at the odometer. It was later that I learned that the mileage was original on that odometer, as far as we know. So this was a full hot rod build. They pulled out, she might have had a 200 horsepower engine, right? They pulled that out. They pulled the transmission out. They pulled the rear end out, and they put a whole new Resto Mod driveline in there. That means this GM Performance 427 engine, happy 427 day, a Muncie Rock Crusher M22 4-speed tranny, and then a bulletproof rear end, plus Caltrac suspension and electric cutouts for the exhaust. So they rocked it and rolled it, and this thing is such, it looks like a sleeper, but any of you would be so proud to drive this to a car show, to park it in your garage, even to take it down a quarter-mile stretch.
Wow. So really, just by looking at it, you can't tell all of that stuff that's happened.
No, you really can't. The one thing that you can tell is that it's got a little bit of stance in the back, a little bit of attitude going on in there on the rear. And if you look right down there past the driver's door, down low, you can see that there is some sort of performance traction control on there, that being the Caltracs.
Yeah, down there.
So you can see that. And of course, the tires look a little bit meatier than they would have put on Grandma's Nova way back in 1970. Happy 427 day, everybody. So we
Dean
got a
says,
Chevy 427, we got a Ford 427.
Dean says, perfect for cruising with your arm around your girl.
That's what I miss
these bench seats,
about bench seats.
I know.
Putting your arm around the person you love.
Or my dog.
Or the dog you love. Or the canary you love.
That's
Peter.
right. Matt says, is it still a tranny if it identifies as a gearbox?
Is it what?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Is it still a tranny if it's
yeah.
identified as a gearbox? Okay, 4-speed gearbox, you got me on that one. But 4-speed manual transmission. Either way, I'm good with it. I won't arm wrestle you on that one. Cool, so this is a fantastic restoration on it. And it's really about making the Nova look as stock as possible, but as powerful as possible. And I usually tell you guys, if you win a classic car, I probably don't recommend that you drive it home. This one, I'd say have fun. This would be a blast. You better have your credit card for gas, right? But this would be a super fun drive all the way home. That motor, like I said, that's a modern engineered 427.
And Chris, what color is this? Because that would definitely turn some heads down the street.
Astro Blue, is that what it is? Isn't that what we said it was?
I think so, yeah.
I don't think it's Le Mans Blue. I think it's Astro Blue.
So Chris, if you like the 427 of either the Ford or the Chevy,
right?
How do you get in?
PJ, I'm so glad you asked that. You go to dreamgiveaway.com, you use promo code Facebook Live or promo code YouTube, you get those bonus tickets. You know what I noticed today when I looked at the ticket certificate for the winner of the BMW M4?
Did he win on bonus tickets?
I don't know if his bonus ticket won, but I could see bonus tickets on his entries.
All right, we'll have to take a look at that.
I have to take a look and see if he won on the bonus tickets. That's why I tell you guys, the bonus tickets don't cost you anything more. And they increase your, let me get it right, PJ, odds?
Correct.
Odds of winning.
Yep, the more tickets you have, the better the odds.
There you go. That's so cool. Well, happy 427 day, everybody. Maybe we'll fire up the Nova tomorrow. That'll be fun. After the Ford F100 ends in 22 days, the next one to end is that Fuelie Corvette. We'll be showing you a whole lot of that over the next month or so. And we will see you tomorrow with PJ, you got something before I outro?
Yeah, Russell says, don't forget the blue oval has a 427 as well. Not sure with that.
Well, that's correct. Are you talking about the Ford Performance 427 small block? I don't think that Ford is currently making a 427 FE Performance crate engine, or are they? Do you mind clarifying what you mean?
I don't know, but we'll give Devin and everybody else a shot of this incredible Monte Carlo.
Incredible Monte Carlo.
May 11th,
May 11th, we're pulling the winner for that?
Yeah, or 13th, either one. I think May 11th.
Okay, and not tomorrow, but next Friday in the Dream Giveaway Garage, The winner, all the way from the great state of South Carolina, will be here.
He'll be getting his Charger 500.
Getting his Charger 500. That's right. He'll be taking it back up to NASCAR country.
Chris, we just had an award ceremony with 3 winners.
With 3 winners. We've only heard of 2 of them getting back safely.
Oh boy.
We're going to have to call the 3rd winner and make sure he's still not there at the drive-through window.
That's right. That says yes, Godzilla motor.
You're correct. Yeah, you're right. The new Ford Godzilla motor is a 427. So big shout out to that on 427 Day as well. Maybe one of these days we'll get a chance to have a Ford vehicle, a Ford Resto Mod with that Godzilla 427 in it. It's a great idea. All right, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes. And all the cool days are this week. Hemi Day yesterday, 427 Day tomorrow. So that means 428 Day, 427 Day today. That means 428 Day tomorrow. We don't have a Pontiac 428 in here. We don't have a Ford 428, though we have in the past. We'll figure out something to keep you guys occupied tomorrow.
Maybe we'll go way up in displacement.
Right. We'll see you tomorrow for Fire It Up Friday in our favorite place on earth, the Dream Giveaway Garage for dreamgiveaway.com. See you guys tomorrow.